Hello, you're welcome today to a 3D tutorial from InstinctHub. Today we're going to continue our series on learning the 3D software on Blender, and I'm going to pick up from where we left off last time, and that was we talked about the navigation tool, how to navigate in Blender, where I showed you a couple of things like the edit mode, the object mode, the render view. I also showed you about rendering icon, material shaders, and so on and so forth. Like we said the last time, to delete the default cube, you just click on your X and you delete. So now that our cube is out of the way, what we have left is the camera, which I just right clicked on, and we have a spotlight. So the first thing we're going to do today, we're going to create a barrel as an animator and create this thing. So the first thing you're going to do, like I taught you how to add an object, we're going to do Shift A because we want to add like a cylinder. So you do Shift A, this icon pops up, then you go straight to mesh and you will see cylinder. Bang, we just added our first object, which is a cylinder, into our scene. So what we're going to do, we're going to want to move it to the G axis, and to move to the G axis, I taught you the shortcut, which is you press G and the axis, whether it's a Z axis, a Y axis, or an X axis. So you're going to do G and Z. So we'll move it up like that. So great. So it's not touching the floor, but because I notice it's not touching the floor, one of the things I taught you that you could actually navigate and know where you're actually standing is by using your number keys 1 and 3 for your front view and your side view. So I'm going to go to my front view by pressing 1. Now, like me, if you have this problem that the key is not responding, it's basically because you've not enabled your add-on, your interface movement and navigation on your Blender user preference. So we're going to go there again and press edit, user preference. So when you're in user preference, you go to, let's check navigation, nope, input. Yeah, now when you see input, you have to enable emulate numpad. Once you've done that, you come right here and say save preference, and you close, then you go 1. You see now it responded straight up. So we're gonna move it to the floor. So we're gonna create like a floor plane so we know what we're actually doing. So you do Shift A again and you add a plane. Now we have a plane. Let's scale it up by pressing S, scale. Simple, voila, we have our floor. So now I want to make sure that it touches the floor. Yep, it's on the floor. So now we're going to start modeling the drum. Now this, to model something, like I told you the last time when we had our course, I said there are actually 2 particular modes you work in. We have the edit mode and the object mode. Then if you rigged it, that is going to make it 3, and you have the pose mode. Now I want to go to the edit mode. Now if you go up here, you see this right here that says edit, just click it and you have edit mode. It's as simple as that. That's the edit mode. But if you don't want to do that, you want to do a shortcut, just press your tab. It takes you straight to edit mode. If you press a tab again, it takes you back to object mode. So let's do it again, tab, edit mode. It's as simple as that. So what you're going to do, I'm going to create a loop cut. Before we create the loop cuts for the drum, I'm going to scale this drum up, S, and scale up here. So it gives us this illusion of like a drum. So now we have like a barrel. I'm saying a drum. It's supposed to be a barrel. Sorry about that. Okay, well, this is a barrel now. So you're going to go to edit mode. Then you create a loop cut. Now a loop cut is like you're trying to create something in between. Now to create a loop cut, you do Control and R. Control and R. Now it gives you this kind of like line. Now it's telling you that, oh, here's your loop cut. Now if you want, I could say if I want 2 loop cuts, you don't click anything, you just use 2. You see it's going to create a loop cut. So if you say 1, it's going to create multiple loop cuts. So if you want like 4 loop cuts, you can just press Ctrl R and 4. It's going to create like 4 loop cuts. So let's do 1 loop cuts first. Let's make sure it's in the middle. Then we click it down right here. Then we drop it. So I right clicked and dropped it. Now I'm going to create another loop cut at the middle, right there, and I'm going to right click and drop it. So I'm going to move the loop cuts down. Great, beautiful. Now we have 2 loop cuts. Now I'm going to hold. Now one is selected, the other is not selected. So what I'm going to do is going to do Control and Alt. Hold your Shift and Alt, and you right click to select. Then let's press S to scale. Now you find that it's going to like scale that place up. So we're going to put another loop cut in between, because I noticed that if you scale it, it's going to take the proportional dimension of the drum away. So you put a loop cut in between the 2 loop cuts. Then you press S and scale out. Beautiful. Now we have like a kind of like a barrel feel around it. So we're going to do another thing again. We're going to create another loop cut at the top here. That's Control R again. Beautiful. So we're going to, now there's a trick here I want to show you. There's something called the face mode, or the vertices, or edge mode. I told you about the edge, the face. The face is actually dealing with the squares and the faces, while the edge mode is the straight line on every edge. Then the edit mode is like, you remember the points on the object. So now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to hold. If you come right here, you see your edge mode, you select your edge mode. So I'm going to hold. Now if I just right click by selecting, it selects just one edge. So if I hold down Shift and Alt and I right click, you see it's going to select the whole edge. Now once I have the whole edge selected, if I go on scale, you see it's going to scale it up. Now I don't want that, so I'm going to create another loop cut in between that edge here. Great. So I'm going to scale that up. Great, beautiful. Now for the top, we're going to do, before we go to the top, we're going to do the same thing down here. So we'll create another loop cut here, move down, then put another loop cut right in between that loop cut, then scale that one up. Great, beautiful. Now you see our drum is taking shape. Now we're going to go to the top. I'm going to switch to face mode. Face mode is right here, so we're going to select the whole face. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press E. Now E, when you do E, what you're trying to do is I want to extrude. Extruding means you're trying to create another face within a face and give it a shape. So I'm going to press E. Now I've created another face. You might not see it. If I move it, you see the face coming out here. So I'm going to press S. That's for scaling. I want to scale it in. I'm going to scale S and scale in. Beautiful. You see that? I just created another loop. Now I'm going to do E again, and I'm going to extrude it inward to give it that drum feel, like the center of the drum. So do E, S, then I'm going to scale G and Z, scaling down, meaning I want the drum to come down. Then I'm going to scale it. Now if you look, it gives us this perspective of like, oh, that's a drum. Yeah, we have our drum. Now I'm supposed to do this for the lower part, that's the under, but since, okay, let's do it. So it's going to be a practice for us. But let's make the plane disappear. Like I taught you, the eye, if you come over here, the eye here means that you don't want to see that plane. It's still there. Like the shortcut, if you want to bring it back, if you said Alt H, it's going to bring it back. But if you do H, instead of clicking on the I, if you do H, it's going to disappear. Great, beautiful. So we have that done. Then we're going to come under it here. So we're going to do the same thing. Face mode, S, face mode, extrude by pressing E on your keyboard, and S, you scale in. Beautiful. Another E for extruding, S, scale in, and G, Z, that means you're moving it inward. Beautiful. We have our drum. Yay! However, this drum is not looking cool enough. So what we're going to do, we can still see the lines on the drum, and a perfect drum doesn't look this way. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to edit mode, and we're going to press L. Now for L means you want to select the whole object in an edit mode. So when you do L, bam, you selected everything. Then I'm going to click on W. Then you see here shade smooth. When you click on W, it gives you these options, and you see shade smooth, because we don't want to see those lines. So we're going to just do shade smooth. So if we go back to object mode, yay, our drum is looking smooth. But however, there's something about this drum. It just has this ugly feel to it. I don't understand. So what we're going to do to actually make it look good, we're going to go under this spanner here. We're going under our modify properties. I'm going to go here and say subdivision surface. I'm going to click it. Bang! Now you notice that drum just looks straight up smooth. Yeah, I'm going to increase the levis viewport to 1, just 3. Then we're going to do 3 also here. So right now our drum is looking cool. Then we're going to go back to edit mode. So to create the perspective of the drum, we're going to add another loop cut here, and we're going to move the loop cut down. Beautiful. So it gives us that drum feeling back. Another loop cut down here. I'm going to move the loop cut upward. Beautiful. We're going to do another loop cut here. Move it up. Great. Then I'm going to do one down here also. I'm going to move it down. Beautiful. Now let's go back to object mode. Beautiful. Now we have a smooth looking drum. You see how smooth our drum looks now? It looks like drum. So let's try and see if we can do loop cut at the top also here. So let's do a loop cut. Control R. Beautiful. Now we have our drum well placed in there. So yeah, so now if we move back to object mode, yes, look at it, we have a very clean, sweet looking drum. So let's press Alt H and bring back our plane. Great. So we have our drum. It's just so simple. You could go in more and using your edge mode and maybe define it more. You want the drum to look more bulkier or something. It all depends on what you want from here. I'm just doing some few stops. So you could have a very nice barrel here. Now you're going to look at me and you'll be like, oh, you just worked on the edit mode, now I have a drum. In the next tutorial, I'm going to come back, right, and I'm going to show you what we call texturing. I'm going to show you both lighting and texturing, and we're going to texture the drum and make it look good. That's our first task for the day. So if you love this tutorial, subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and please subscribe, because this is like a series and I don't want you to miss out. I want you to be a professional, be better than anything that you could be by doing 3D. So I want you to like subscribe, and I'll see you in the next class. Thank you.